Hey y'all, Shayla Edler here, your North Texas Realtor. Let me tell you, this market is wild. I mean, some homes are flying off the market in 24 hours while others are just sitting weeks with crickets, no showings. I mean, it's crazy. Just this past week, I listed 3 homes and all 3 went under contract within 24 to 48 hours. I mean, I was shocked. So you may be wondering, how did we do it? Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I did, what my sellers did, and what really seems to be working in this market. So if you are thinking about selling, grab a notepad because I'm about to spill the playbook. So one thing about me is I don't sugarcoat. I tell my sellers what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Too many agents overpromise, slap an unrealistic price tag on a home, and then weeks later, you're stuck with endless price drops and frustration with your agent. So if you are looking for an agent that's going to promise you the moon, that is just not how I do business. When you hire me as your agent, you are hiring someone who's going to be honest, strategic, and hands-on. Because selling your home is a pretty big deal. And when sellers actually listen to my recommendations and put in the work up front, y'all, it pays off in big ways. So let's start off with home number 1 in Bonham, Texas. So these sellers had already bought their next home, so they were able to move out completely, which really makes staging and showing a lot easier. So if you have the ability to do this, I highly recommend it. So when I first saw the home, it definitely needed a lot of TLC. I told the sellers we could absolutely list it as is, but for about $175,000. I told them if they put in a little bit of work into it, they could list between $200,000 to $225,000. And that was much more appealing to them. That was their choice. So they decided to be patient, take several months, and really put in the work to get more out of the sale of their home. So here is what I recommended they do and exactly what they did. They repainted the walls, baseboards, doors. They updated the kitchen and bathroom countertops to a nice granite, and they swapped out interior fans, light fixtures, and hardware like doorknobs and faucets. Just made it a little bit more modern. One of the big things that I always recommend people do is replacing light bulbs with like the daylight bulbs. The more yellowy tones just makes a house feel really outdated, and buyers right now just don't like that. So they went in and replaced all the light bulbs with those brighter daylight bulbs, and it just makes it feel bright, fresh, and inviting in the photos and also in person. So on the exterior of the home, they repainted their back and front doors to a very gorgeous, eye-catching light blue. There is apparently a lot of statistics that say if you paint your front door like a bright color, like it speeds up the sale of your home. So I'm a huge believer in it. They added brand new backyard fencing, they spruced up their landscaping, and they deep cleaned everything, which just makes all the difference in the world. When they were done, I reran my comps and we confidently landed at a price of $215,000. So prior to photos, I came in with a few simple decor touches like little plants and vases. And then after I received the photos, I virtually staged a couple of rooms to highlight their best features like the living room and the master bedroom. And the result was within 24 hours, we had multiple offers and we went under contract. So that is what preparation gets you. Now, let's talk about home number 2. This home is in Ivanhoe, Texas. These sellers, once again, were able to purchase a new home first and get completely moved out prior to selling, which is a huge advantage there. This was a beautiful property with lots of land and 2 ponds. However, it is in the middle of nowhere, so we knew it would take a very special buyer. Before listing, I went out, gave them tips to get the home in the the absolute best shape possible. And once again, they did every single thing that I recommended and more. So here's what they did. They had the entire property mowed and cleared around the ponds. They replaced old, sad-looking exterior fans on the front and back porch, and they repainted the exterior doors. They didn't do a crazy bright color, but they did, make them look very nice and pretty. Inside, they added cabinet hardware everywhere that had cabinets, which makes a huge difference. So many builders will, put nice cabinets in, but they don't put cabinet hardware, and just adding hardware just makes such a big difference. They also swapped out the more yellowy colored light bulbs to the brighter daylight bulbs. And they touched up paint inside, deep cleaned, and here's where they really went the extra mile, is they invested in professional staging. And the best part is I work with an incredible staging company that lets my clients pay at closing. So they can keep the furniture in their home for up to 6 months, no cost up front, and it makes the home look like a model home. There's literally no reason not to invest in staging when it's that great of a deal and it gets you that much more for your home. Investing in professional staging is one of the best things you can do as a seller. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's worth every penny. So when I ran my comps for these sellers, I recommended listing between $650,000 to $675,000. I told them that the ideal price is $650,000, and if they listed on the higher side, they could sit a while and could end up under asking. So they were realistic with this market, and they went with the more aggressive and appealing price of $650,000, which really paid off because we went live, and within 48 hours we had a strong offer, $20,000 over asking with a 0-day option period. Y'all, I had not seen an offer like that since 2021 probably. So the combination of the beautiful staging, preparation, plus pricing correctly made this happen. I know it's super hard for sellers to wrap their heads around, listing on the lower side or even under the recommended price, but it truly can lead to multiple offers or over asking price. The majority of the time it does. So I know it's really hard to swallow, but it works. Now we will go to home number 3. It is in Leonard, Texas, and it was a little bit different. So my sellers are stationed overseas, and they do have tenants living in the home. So sometimes when there's tenants in a home, that can get a little tricky, but thankfully these tenants are absolutely amazing. They worked with us every step of the way to get the home in the absolute best shape possible. When I went to see the home, it needed a little bit of work to get ready for photos and showings, and the tenant helped the seller get everything ready. So here is what I recommended and what they did. They had the land cleared and mowed all around the land and the pond. They took down brittle shutters that were kind of just falling apart around the windows. They freshened up the landscaping, took out some dead bushes, trimmed up the remaining ones, and added mulch. Inside, they touched up paint, swapped out the bulbs, once again, from the yellow outdated bulbs to bright daylight. They decluttered and depersonalized inside the home, and they had the home deep cleaned. This listing was 2 parcels listed both separately and together, with the sellers ideally praying and wanting to sell it all together. So we knew it would take a special buyer for this to happen, and we listed very strategically and aggressively, and within 24 hours we had a cash buyer for both parcels. We did go into some negotiations and they went pretty smoothly, and we quickly went under contract. So what is the common thread here? It definitely was not luck. It was strategy. And here's exactly what we did. Prior to going active, we went coming soon. So here in Texas, you can market your home as coming soon on the MLS up to 30 days before going active. No showings are allowed during the status, but buyers and agents see that it's coming, and this is a great time to start conversations early. I usually post 1 to 2 teaser pictures to see kind of how many people are interested, how many calls or inquiries I may get from agents. We priced appropriately, not overpriced, not underpriced, strategically priced based on the market, the most recent sales, and active competition. Took a look at the full picture, and this is the biggest factor in how fast your home sells in this market. Another big one is creative marketing and great photography. This is one of the most important factors. I always pay for top-notch professional photography and videography for all of my listings. Whether it's a $200,000 listing or a $2 million listing, all of my sellers are going to get the very same treatment. What buyers see online determine if they ever walk through your front door. So no iPhone photos allowed here. Sellers, if you see your agent walking around taking their own photos with their iPhones, run. Exposure. So I blasted the listings all across social media. I sent out just listed postcards and I tapped into my buyer agent network. Getting a listing notice takes a lot more than just posting it on the MLS and crossing your fingers. And last but not least, communication is key to a smooth transaction, not only with your client, but with other agents. I answer my phone every time it rings, and if for some reason I miss it, I call that person back almost immediately, as soon as possible. Every time an agent books a showing, I reach out via call and text, introducing myself, seeing if they have any questions, and asking them to kindly leave feedback. As an agent, you can be both direct and kind and efficiently get a deal done that makes all parties happy. So here's the bottom line. How you prepare your home matters. How you list your home matters. And who you choose to work with matters. So if you want your home to sit, you can hire someone who promises you the moon and takes bad photos. If you want your home sold and sold well, you need a realtor who's honest, strategic, and hands-on every single step of the way. And that's what I do. And it works. If you're even thinking about selling your home in North Texas, whether it's in Alstyne, McKinney, Anna, Celina, or out on land in Leonard, Trenton, or Bells, I would love to be the one to walk you through the process. Call me, text me, message me. Let's make your move happen the right way. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I share weekly insights about buying, selling, and living here in North Texas. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.